Hi, and welcome to another tutorial for Access 2003 users, but if you're using a later version, you may well find something useful in here to take away. Now in this tutorial we're going to be looking at filters and sorting. So I'm going to open the movies table, we'll have a quick look at that. So if I just bring the table up against the toolbar there, you can see on the standard toolbar, just past the middle there, we've got sorting buttons and we have filtering buttons, which I will get to in a second. First of all, then, sorting, very similar, in fact probably identical to Excel. In tables the sorting is fairly limited, you can only apply the sort on one column at a time. So let's say I want to sort my titles, I can simply click in that column, sort A to Z, and if I change your mind, maybe I want it sort the other way around, I can click on Z to A. If I want to sort by rating, here I can click in the rating column, again choose A to Z sort, and so on. An obvious one here might be the year, so click in the year column, again choose A to Z sort, which is oldest to newest, and Z to A is obviously newest to oldest. So that's fairly straightforward. As I say, you can't sort on multiple columns, so let's say I wanted to sort on the rating first of all. So you can see I have the 15 rated films here, and under my titles, Shawshank Redemption is ahead of The Godfather. Well, it shouldn't be. So let's go into that field there and sort that, and it doesn't really work because it just sorts only on that list and it messes up the rating column, so that's no good. You can obviously do it in Access, you need to do it through queries, which we will come to later in the series of tutorials. However, just for now, I'm going to resort that list back in its original form by clicking in the movie ID field, clicking A to Z, and that'll revert it back to how it was. Applying filters in Access again is a fairly straightforward process. As a simple example, let's say I simply want to see the drama titles. I would click into click on the word drama, in this case, in the genre field, and then click this button here, which is the filter by selection. Little filter symbol with a lightning sign next to it, and when I click on that it filters only the drama films. Once I apply that, there's a button here that says remove filter, so if I click on that, that takes the filter away. Now what's interesting is that filter will remain in place, so I could be anywhere on this table, not even in the genre field, so I'm clicking the running time field there. If I now click on apply filter, it reapplies the drama filter, so it remembers the last filter that you set up basically. So I'm going to remove that and we will choose another one. So let's say I just want to see the films of Alfred Hitchcock, for example. I'll click in any one of the names where Alfred Hitchcock appears, click on the filter, and again it just shows me the Hitchcock movies. Remove that filter, click anywhere in the table, and then reapply that filter, and it remembers that was my last filter. So that's fairly straightforward. You'll notice basically this is just a switch, this button here, so it's apply and remove filter, on off basically. The middle button there, or the second one along, is filter by form. Now if I click on that one, something interesting happens. Basically it removes all the titles. It's left Alfred Hitchcock in there. I can just delete that out because it's already highlighted, so press delete. And let's just say I want to find Paramount movies starring James Stewart. What I would do here is go to my studio field, click in that, I get a drop down arrow, and I can choose Paramount. Then go to my star field, click on that, drop down arrow, and choose James Stewart. So those are my two criteria for this filter, and I can then click on apply filter, and there we are, shows me the two Jimmy Stewart movies. And again I can remove that filter fairly simply by clicking remove filter, and it also takes away the form template. If I reapply the filter, again it remembers the last filter that was set up, whether it's filter by selection or filter by form. Okay, so again remove that filter, and I'm going to go back to filter by form, and this time we will leave this filter in place, Paramount movies starring Jimmy Stewart, but let's say somebody also wanted to see films directed by Spielberg in the list. Now I could select Spielberg's name from here, but that doesn't work, as you will see. So if I just scroll down to find Mr. Spielberg. There he is. And we'll apply the filter. We'll see what happens. Nothing. And the reason for that is there aren't any Spielberg films that star Jimmy Stewart and that were made by Paramount. So we need to be a bit smarter than that. There is a way we can get around it. So I'm going to remove that filter first of all and just reapply the filter by form. So first thing I need to do here is delete the director field. So once I've clicked on that field, I'm going to click the home key or press the home key on the keyboard and just delete Spielberg out of there. Now down at the bottom you'll see we've got a couple of tabs. The first one says look for and the next one says OR. So look for is the, if you like, the primary filter, and the OR bit could be a secondary or even a third level of filtering if you want to. So if I click on the OR button there, it gives me a second filter option and it creates a third OR button. So that goes on as far as you want really. I'm just going to apply a second level. So we know we've got our Paramount Jimmy Stewart movies, and on the second level I'm looking for Spielberg. So scroll down, there's Steven Spielberg, and now if I apply that filter we get exactly what we want. So we get the Jimmy Stewart movies made by Paramount, and we also get any films that were directed by Spielberg. So again, you can do some quite interesting things with filtering without even getting into the forms and the queries of Access. So just working with tables. Okay, I'm going to remove that filter, and as you know it remembers the filter, so I can reapply it any time regardless of where I am, and it remembers the last one that I applied. So remove that. I'm going to close that table down. It says, do you want to save the changes to the design of the movie table? Now because I've been doing a lot of sorting, filtering, Access thinks I've been fiddling with the design, and Access wants me to tell it whether it wants that saving or not. I'll say yes, it doesn't really matter. I say it doesn't impact the data at all. It's purely a cosmetic change. So that concludes this first look at using the sort and filter tools in Access. Thank you for watching and see you next time.